don't overthink life. Just look at the next few minutes ahead of you, because the series of your choices becomes the sum of your life. And don't wait for someone else to come and fix the problem. You see a problem, be part of change, because no one's coming to save you unless you want to save yourself.
What's up, action takers? Welcome back to After Hours Entrepreneur. This is your guide to building your very own thriving, freedom-loving, freedom-building six-figure business. And today, I'm bringing you a backstage pass to the NSU Levan Center of Innovation's Innovation Day 2022. This event was incredible. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of innovators and entrepreneurs from the South Florida area all congregated in one place in one time. What you're about to watch is one of the episodes in the series where I'm talking with a local entrepreneur who's making it happen just like you. So sit back, relax, and get ready to learn some new skills, to learn what's working, hear some amazing stories from entrepreneurs, and walk away with some actionable tips that are going to help you build up your business. And by the way, this episode is sponsored by Savant Media. Savant Media gives you the tools to launch, grow, and monetize your very own podcast. You want more info? All you gotta do is go to www.marksavantmedia.com to launch and grow your very own podcast. It's gonna crush it, baby. All right, enough of me. It's time to get into this episode with an awesome innovator at the NSU Innovation Center. Let's go. Before we get started, I want to give a special shout out to our sponsor, Riverside.fm, the best place to record your remote interviews. All right, DJ, run the tape. Kalista, welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, super glad to talk to you. We met outside here. We were at the Levan Center here at the NSU campus. And you're going through the incubator program here with a really innovative take on social media.
Right.
So tell us, what's the name of your social media platform and how did you come up with the idea?
Well, the platform is called Sparkseeker. We're a cross-platform app, so we're available on both Android and iOS. And yes, we're very excited to be part of the incubator here. We came up with the idea because I had a rough start in life and went through life sort of feeling like, there was really no help out there, or help was very unattainable. I had no interest in being in tech whatsoever. At one point in my life, I said, when I could do better, I would. And roughly about 7 years ago, I started to join these different Facebook groups and go on these online platforms to try to find community to do great work in this world. And what I found was that I'd wasted a ton of time. I was getting all kinds of content that I didn't want to see. And I found that time to be kind of a waste of time. It took me nowhere. There was no tangible gain. I saw a real problem with the whole landscape of likes and follows and bullying and misinformation. I thought, you know what? This is what our future generations are up against. We need a better solution.
Yeah, those vanity metrics.
Absolutely.
Right. Oh, I have more followers than you. I'm cooler than you. Right. But at the end of the day, we talked about that. It doesn't really mean much.
Right. I mean, the example I was sharing with you outside was like, if in real life I walked around and I poked you and said, I like you, and I followed you everywhere, you'd probably have me arrested. I might have a restraining order. However, it seems to be the norm in the online world. This is not a true way to build community in any way. Or whether you're a brand or an individual, even as a brand, it's not a way to build brand loyalty or brand affinity. In everyday life, we build relationships by making time for people, sitting down, having a conversation, exchanging ideas. And so some of our proprietary features are, this is one feature in particular called Campfire, where it can be one-offs or reoccurring, but you actually need to make time to sit down and communicate with people, and people can come and join your community. And so you can build your sort of invested community that way.
I like that. So let's talk a little bit about this Campfire, because the issue, the thing I'm struggling to wrap my head around, right? Because all the major platforms, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, YouTube, they all revolve around likes. And they all revolve around subscribers and followers. And I think that there's pros and cons to that, right? Tell me how Campfire is integrated. So break down how the Campfire feature is integrated to kind of build out this ecosystem, to build out this community.
So I'll give you a use case. Okay. And that might help better explain it. You might be somebody who is interested in yoga, but you might also be interested in podcasts. And so the same audience that's going to come to you for information around podcasts and what's happening is not necessarily going to be the same audience that's interested in connecting with you because of your affinity for yoga.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So you're a very multidimensional person. And so we want to be able to give you tools to build audiences and to build a network, a community that cares about what it is that you're talking about. So you have your profile, you post, like I said, we have no likes and follows. So people see your content in one of a few ways. It could be through when you sign up and you go through an initial wizard, letting us know what your viewing preferences are, because we have no invasive algorithms and we don't track you. And so that's one way. The other way is we've got something called a collective. So if I like the content that you're putting out there, I can add you to my collective, but you'll never know. So it's not like you're getting your ego validated there. It's
And
just,
the collective means I'm going to see more of Kalista, for example, in my feed.
exactly.
Okay.
So I get to see your content. I get to appreciate your content, but you're not getting that metric that usually, like, people don't really post often because they've got meaningful content to post about. Oftentimes, if you go on these existing social platforms, you'll see selfies, people with all kinds of beauty filters pretending to have a life that may not necessarily be based in truth.
No. No. Say it ain't so.
Really, Vital. So we really want to move away from that. Like, why is it that you're creating the content that you do? Every single thing on Sparkseeker is very, very intentional. And so if for example, you've posted content, now you live in Ohio, I live in Florida. And you've posted something about 5 mindful minutes every morning that you want to create. You can create a campfire around that and people can join. But if I see content that I like, I can actually long hold and create my own initiatives or actions around it. And so the more you make these campfires recurring, the larger your community becomes.
And a campfire is like a social audio room? Is it a social video room?
Video room. So
okay.
Everything on Sparkseeker is video based.
Okay.
There's no static content.
What's up, After Hours Entrepreneur? Mark here with an important message for you. You do not want to look bad and sound bad online. You don't want it, I don't want it, and your fans most certainly don't want it. I need to tell you from personal experience that the best way to improve the quality of your content is with Riverside.fm. Riverside.fm is my go-to for recording the highest quality podcast and video content from anywhere. So why use Riverside? Well, Riverside is going to give you the highest quality 4K video recordings. You're also going to get uncompressed, crispy, clean audio. Honestly, the best that I've seen. You're going to get separate tracks recorded when you're interviewing people and collaborating, which makes it very easy to change your audio levels. In fact, Riverside is even going to give you a video editor and social media clip creator directly within the program. Listen, it's time to avoid looking bad and start looking amazing. And the best way to do that is with Riverside.fm. Start free today and use code FRIENDSOFMARK for a special offer. Again, get started with Riverside.fm. Use code FRIENDSOFMARK and start looking and sounding like your best self today. All right, let's get back into the episode. So a social video room, is that the vision I'm getting in my mind is like a Zoom meeting where there's a grid and there's a dozen people in there.
I would say it's like a Zoom meets Clubhouse.
Okay.
So I would say that's what that feature is more like.
That's cool.
So, and the real reason for the video is because in traditional social platforms, the ability to, really raise emotional intelligence is gone. Like this, in everyday life, when you and I talk, we develop these social emotional cues. If I say something offensive, by the way you flinch, your reactions, I know
Right.
I may have offended you. There's a lot of desensitization happening on social platforms right now because everybody's hiding behind the anonymity of the keyboard. Right? There's not a lot of thought. There's a lot of misinformation, hate speech. And you can see that the mental health is declining, especially in our youth. There's a lot more suicides. over 60% of people believe that social media platforms do more harm than good. But why are we on it? And what's a better alternative? It's not going anywhere. Technology is not going anywhere. Marketers who use these social platforms are not going anywhere. So it's really time we started to make sure that technology is in service to us and not the other way around, that we're not being enslaved by technology.
I think it makes sense. It makes sense. The idea of everyone hiding behind a keyboard, this vision of this beautiful woman on Instagram, but really it's a 70-year-old overweight man, right? Who's just
right.
So I think that putting your video out there, to me, would make sense to building the know, like, and trust. Like, you really
right. And actually, a lot of another great innovation that we've done is that on other platforms you can type comments. You can't type comments on our platform. So if you want to respond to somebody else's post, you have to put your face to it. It's a video comment. So what that does is it raises accountability. There's no more fake bots or deep bots. So you're interacting with a real person. And it makes somebody think twice before they just blurt something out there. Like, a gorgeous girl could be there and 50 people would say, "You look beautiful." But there'll always be one or two people that are trolling, that are saying, "Get off the internet. You're ugly. You're overweight." And really, now you can still do that, but now your face is attached to it. So there's a deeper accountability and a deeper call to action on being more mindful about what it is that you're posting. So every single feature on Sparkseeker is neuroscience backed to support wellness, to make sure that experience online is creating, is doing the least amount of harm and doing as much good as possible.
I like it. It's a cool idea. It's very interesting because, like I said, all the other platforms are using likes and follows. To me, part of the advantage of that is if I find someone for the first time, I can understand, like, how valid is their opinion. To your point, if someone on Twitter leaves a negative comment and they've got 2 followers, like, I don't care.
Right.
If someone has 200,000, I'd be like, maybe I should care, right? For better or for worse. So is there any way of kind of understanding what the merit of someone is? Is just by the merit of what you say? Is there any way of kind of understanding, oh, this maybe is a gold member or platinum member? I'm just curious if there's any system of determining how widely adopted an idea is or how widely accepted this person's viewpoints are.
So we got rid of the like feature. So what you get to do is you get to say thank you. So you do have some metrics that are available, and a lot of the metrics that you would find are anonymized, aggregated data. So you can see how many times people have viewed your content. And if your content made an impression on someone or they found value in it, you get to say thank you.
Okay.
Because there's a whole science of gratitude as well and what that's doing to the brain. So, and the body really. So there's, you do get information like that to see how well your content is resonating with people without necessarily, and you're not getting validated because you looked cute in a shirt. There is that validation there, but it's for the right reasons. It's, oh, I made an impact in someone's life, in their day. I had something useful to say. Oh, this gave someone an idea to start an action in the world. A lot of our tools are to make sure you're not there to scroll online endlessly. We don't have urgency signaling to keep you coming back again and again. We want you to come and get your dose of good, healthy content, but then we want you to go back out into the real world and take action on it. You want to arrange a beach cleanup? Great. You want to educate us about why yoga is important? You're a stay-at-home mom and you want to start, let us into your lives. Show us what you want. Rally community support. That's what Sparkseeker is all about. We want every person on this platform to know that they can co-create a better world. And everything that we've designed is to support that. In fact, even right down to the way we look at revenue. We are subscription-based. And the reason we're subscription-based, is because we don't want any fake bots and deep bots. We don't want people that are on there for the wrong reasons. And also what it does is that, like other platforms, they're not running a charity, right? They're running a business. And your data is at the heart of their revenue model.
Right.
So if your data isn't worth $3.99 a month to you, why should it be to these other platforms? So you have to think about that. And so not only are you getting a safe and healthy experience, but a portion of our revenue goes towards high impact organizations that are doing great work in this world. So every seeker, we call them seekers on our platform, is part of real world change. And it's a feel good that while they're scrolling, someone else gets to eat, drink clean water, or go to school.
Sound like some good things. And also something I think that's underrated and starting to become more popular is having a mission-based business, something larger than I got to keep the board happy.
Right.
I got to keep the shareholders happy. You see companies like Tom's have been very successful with that type of model. So I think that makes a lot of sense in getting people on board.
We're definitely a triple bottom line. It's people, planet, profit for us.
People, planet, profit?
People, planet, profit.
Dig it. Dig it. Super cool. So, Kalista, before we get into the rapid fire section of the show, buckle up. It's going to get intense in here. But before we get into the rapid fire section, how can we get involved in this project? How can we find out more about Sparkseeker? How can we get on the platform?
We're right now in private beta, so it's by invite only. So whether it's for Android or iOS users, we certainly have links where you can sign up to be part of this beta right now. We're hoping to be in app stores by the end of the year or early next year. So you can go on to sparkseeker.com and sign up, at which point you'll get an email invite to it, or you can visit us over here at NSU and you can join from our booth.
Awesome. Thank you, Kalista. Okay, rapid fire. Are you ready?
All right. I'm bracing myself. Go.
Right. What's the scariest movie you've ever seen?
Ring. The first one.
Yeah.
That one was like, I was afraid to go into the backyard. It was all these trees and I'm like, okay, I got to go back in.
Right. Really, really scary. If you could be any animal, what would you be?
A phoenix. Does it have to be a real animal?
It doesn't have to be. There's no wrong answer. Phoenix is a good one. Phoenix is a good one. I haven't heard that one before. That's a good one. I like that. If you could sit next to anybody on a plane, who'd you sit next to?
Who would I sit next to if I could sit next to anyone? The Dalai Lama.
Okay. That's a wise one. Where will you be professionally in 10 years?
Changing the landscape of how we connect online.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
Right here, South Florida.
That's the right answer. That's
paradise, palm trees, and sunny skies.
That is the right answer, Kalista. And final question. If you had 10 seconds with yourself 10 years ago, what would you say?
10 seconds with myself 10 years ago. Don't overthink life. Just look at the next few minutes ahead of you, because the series of your choices becomes the sum of your life. And don't wait for someone else to come and fix the problem. You see a problem, be part of change, because no one's coming to save you unless you want to save yourself.
Love it. Those are words of action, action-taking words. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Kalista.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This has been awesome.
Yo, thanks for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you're walking away with something practical that you can use in your business. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we will catch you here next time on After Hours Entrepreneur. It's up to you. Go take the action, baby. Go make it happen. See ya. Peace.